it's always just a blessing to be in the tree. So praise Jesus, boys. Great day to be alive. It is November 3rd, and I gotta be super quiet. I came down to the Southern Iowa farm for a couple reasons. So I've been getting nothing on cameras here, and some of you may know if you've watched my urban hunts. The Big 8 at the home farm was my number one target, pretty much. I was kind of waiting for a big deer to show up here that should have been here by now. But he'd be 7.5 this year. 4 years of history with him. And he just didn't show up. He grows on me every single summer for the past 3 summers. And this year, he just never showed up. So, with that said, I've been hunting my second target, which would have been at the home farm. Big 8, the history starts with that deer. At 2.5, I have his match set. And filmed him at 3 and 4, found an antler at 4, and now he's 5. Another 4 years of history. Beautiful story. And that farm's in central Iowa. And unfortunately with that deer, I've been hunting him pretty hard on the past couple evenings. And same with that deer, he's just not there. I haven't had him on camera for 2 weeks now, going on 2.5 weeks. And with historic information on that deer, from 2 to 3 to 4, I was right in his core. I filmed him and passed him up so many times last year at 4. And he was just supposed to be there. And he's just not there. I'm starting to worry that EHG got my number 2 target now. Anyway, 2 nights ago, I had a deer show up that I filmed last year, and I have the match set to him from last year. I really didn't look at him too hard last year. I just said in my head, yep, small 4-year-old. Filmed him, cool deer. Maybe he'll be something. Well, he just popped up 2 nights ago, and I hammered this mock scrape at 15 yards. In daylight. Right at the end of shooting light. It was still had a couple minutes left. And then last night, he came through again. Usually I'm targeting a specific deer, always. And this year, just my target doesn't show up. Second target, not showing up. It's different. Like, I'm gonna chase a deer if I know he's alive. I will continue that chase. But when history just doesn't add up, deer just fall off. It's like, it's hard to continue that chase and waste a whole season, because I have done that before. So, I don't know, we'll see what the good Lord has in store for us tonight. It's always just a blessing to be in the tree, so praise Jesus, boys. Great day to be alive. I'm gonna sit here, say my prayers, like always, and enjoy this beautiful November evening. Alrighty, guys, it is about 4 in the morning. After last night's hunt, I honestly just decided to sleep in my truck. I don't know why. I just had a feeling I needed to hunt here this morning, so yeah, game plan is still the same. Try to encounter and film that new book and see what else possibly shows up. So I'll see you guys in the tree. just heard a snort wheeze. It's the second snort wheeze I've heard up in the cedar thicket. I think I'm just gonna snort wheeze right back at him. I'm so sorry about that shot. That's so unfortunate. And this goes to show you it doesn't matter how good of archer you are in the moment. You can misrange things and stuff like that can happen. As you guys know, my 3 urban does this year, 3 out of 3 hard shots. And I easily could have shot over this deer if he would have ducked. I do have to go back and look at the footage. He might have ducked because I did stop him. But it's a blessing. I thank Jesus that I was able to get that second shot in him. What a blessing, boys. Let's go. Let's go. What a snort-wheezing war. He did not want to leave that cedar thicket. Wow. What a blessing right there. I'm just taking it all in, guys. When he first came in, earlier, I was just thinking, I don't know if I should shoot that deer. But then with the with the filming side of things, the communication, the extinguisher, the snort wheeze, and just everything added up into a beautiful hunt with really cool vocals. And I missed so many of his snort wheezes. I would shut off the camera, and then he'd be standing up there, and then he'd just let out a big snort wheeze, start pawing the ground. He was so comfortable up there, but every time he'd start walking away, I'd just go like this right behind me, snort wheeze, and he'd come right back, scraping the ground, snort wheezing back. And I think it took 3 or 4 times of him walking away. This last time, snort wheeze behind me a little louder, to think that the deer that he's communicating with has gotten closer, and he couldn't take it. He stomped right down that hill. My heart started pumping. Oh, what an epic hunt. Well, guys, he's expired. Let's go take a look at this dude. I've got 2 years of history with this guy. What a cool hunt. Alrighty, guys. Just got down. This is the scrape that he absolutely smashed 2 days ago when this deer showed up. And this rain is finally getting this autumn click plot from Frigid Forge to actually grow. We needed that a month ago. Here he is, boys. What a stud. Alrighty, guys. Well, this is him. The angry beast this morning. And it is starting to rain, so I'm gonna have to make this quick, but I'm still just taking in this moment. This morning's hunt was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So when this deer popped up, I knew I had to get here. One, get some footage of him, and 2, possibly shoot him. I told myself if the footage lined up and I could get a ton of pre-roll of this deer, and you guys seen, that was incredible. The communication back and forth, he knew there was a buck down here in this ditch. He just couldn't see him. That's why he was standing on top behind me. He was standing on top of that dike right there, and on the other side of that's a dried up pond, so he's on top of the pond, and he just kept looking down here, and I was shutting the GoPro on and off because I didn't want that battery to completely die. So I hope I was able to edit that video well for you guys. It was absolute chaos, and I couldn't move much because I'm down in a ditch, he's up the hill, so he is like perfectly eye level with me. But yeah, it all started with the extinguisher. Early in the morning, I ended up grunting, and that called that first, I think it was that little 9-point, called him in. He went up here to the edge of the dried up pond, and he snort wheezed, and I'm like, why is he snort wheezing? You know, he's probably looking for that buck, you know, because I grunted. And then here come down the hill this other younger buck. I'm like, okay, he was snort wheezing at him. And then they kept looking back up into the cedar thicket, and I'm just thinking in my head, okay, it's gotta be that deer. And what do you know, he comes storming down, ears pinned back, and that's where it all started. So I knew snort wheezes, deer were reacting to them, obviously, but those 3 bucks showed me that, you know, they're aggressive in that sort of way. So I hope you can see in the footage. But what he was doing, he was coming to that edge where he could see. He was looking, he couldn't see nothing. He'd turn around and he'd start grunting, just on a dose path. I'd wait a couple seconds, I'd snort wheeze behind me. He would storm back, stand on that pond dam, and just stand there. And then he'd start scraping the ground, showing his dominance. Then he'd snort wheeze. A couple of the snort wheezes I didn't record. But then he wouldn't see nothing. So he'd turn around and I'd snort wheeze again. And each time he got more and more aggressive. He wasn't shying away, so that's why I kept getting aggressive. And it was probably the 4th or 5th time I snort wheezed a little louder behind me, and he couldn't take it. He stormed down the hill, ended up coming to the edge of the plot. I ranged him at 35. I was looking at the camera, making sure he was in film. Okay, he started walking, so now I'm trying to hurry up. Well, I draw back, and I'm like, okay, he moved a lot, but I should have just used 35. I should not have used my 40. That was my mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. Sorry again. I hate to see that happen. I still haven't watched the footage, obviously, but I'm thinking maybe he ducked the arrow a little bit, but I'm not sure. And then that second shot, I'm assuming it got right in there. That shot was good at 40. But yeah, guys, I cannot be more blessed. Absolute stud. And just having the opportunity to let alone encounter a deer that I have had 2 days of history with this year. I knew he could show up at some point, but yeah, just getting on this deer in 2 days during the rut is incredible, and it is such a blessing. So, guys, I'm still thinking about that hunt. That was insane. I don't know what else to say. Besides, thank you, Jesus, as always. What a incredible hunt. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. But guys, this does work out really well. It's such a blessing. I know I keep saying that, but what an absolute blessing. Now I can go and get in my urban zone, and nothing has popped up there yet, but I know during the rut, with experience hunting that urban zone, I think some giants are going to come through. So it is starting to rain. This XF400 cannot get wet. So as always, guys, I appreciate you watching. God bless.